All right, we're back. You're listening to America's Voice now. My name is Michael Evans. I'm your host. Yeah, I'm smoking hot about Rubio and his nonsense. You know, this kind of betrayal and traitor and treasonous behavior on the part of our alleged representatives is just off the charts, and I, for one, am absolutely sick of it. Now, today, this segment, we're going to get into the HHS, that's Health and Human Services, which, by the way, regards you as nothing other than sheep for the shearing and cattle for the milking. Here's their Inspector General. Now, he's supposed to be an independent ombudsman, right? This is not the ombudsman program I suggest and represent. That's a program that actually would have some teeth to it. This is a guy who's on government payroll, owes his responsibilities and his loyalty and his fiduciary loyalty and responsibility back to this federal government. And it's no surprise whatsoever that we have absolutely no assistance from these scumbags, because the truth is, they're not protecting us. So, Obamacare's Data Hub won't be secure until the system starts on October 1st. Maybe. All right. Let's address this and take a look at this in depth. I covered this yesterday, but you see, word is out right now. This is from the Washington Examiner. And here's where you need to take a deep look at this. Where we are right now is that the Department of Health and Human Services won't certify that the so-called Obamacare Data Hub used to collect and verify the personal health and financial information of health insurance applicants is secure until the system kicks in on October 1st, unless further delays push it back further. You know, I'm telling you right now that the entire purpose behind Obamacare is really so that they can control 1/6 of the economy. It's an absolute guaranteed minimum plank of the Marxist and Socialist Communist Manifesto that this administration is shoving down our throat for a very clear and specific reason. You cannot have total dictatorial control of any nation unless and until you have absolute control of their healthcare system. Number one. Number two, why is that? Well, because first of all, you get access to all of their health information, all of their personal information, and all of their financial information. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly the goal of the Obama Data Hub. See, the real issue here is simply this. This is used, and it's one more tool, to build massive dossiers and databases on every single American. And it is treasonous, betrayal, and it is a police state tactic that you and everyone that you know should stand up against and say, I just am not going to play. You can deal out the cards, but you're dealing to an empty table. We will not and refuse to participate. The goal of every American should simply be to say, we opt out. We opt out as a massive group, and we will collapse this thing ourselves. You know, I see polls that 57 to 67% of Americans don't favor Obamacare. Here in Missouri, it was 73% of the state. And yet, our own traitorous Claire McCaskill voted for it. When 73% of our state said no, Claire McCaskill, our traitorous senator, voted for it. Now, I got to tell you, here's the situation. If you want to stop this thing, you as an American are going to have to do it. And here's how you're going to do it. You just say, no, I'm not playing, I'm not participating, I'm not signing up. Just imagine, let's say for argument's sake that the numbers that the polls throw at us, which I don't believe anyway, I think it's actually far higher than that, but it's the Ministry of Propaganda that's giving you these numbers, so remember where you're hearing the information from. Remember its source. Trust nothing, trust no one, not even me. But here's the simple truth. If I say it to you, you go out and verify it. And that's the way you should be with every piece of every speck of information that you get. Every I that is prescribed, every T that is crossed, you should be checking and verifying. Use your critical thinking skills. Trust no one, trust nothing. That's the environment you live in. Recognize that those that you consider to be your friends are now your enemies, and the government is the worst enemy you have ever had. They are out to kill you, to enslave you, to take advantage of you. That is their goal. This Data Care Hub is going to be the worst thing that has ever been perpetrated upon America. And so if you participate in it, you are actually acquiescing and agreeing by your silence and your participation. If you don't like it, and the polls are right, just think of do the math for a minute. If 57% of America does not sign up, it comes apart like a cheap suit in the rain. That's it. It's that simple. If you want to stop this, since the scumbags in Congress won't do it, you can do it yourself. Just don't participate. The Department of Health and Human Services has a budget of $700 million to pitch this crap on America. They have pulled out all the stops to get virtually every treasonous scumbag that they can get their hands on in the Hollywood arena, in the public face, in the public visage, to assist them in promoting this. They are spending taxpayer money to force something down our throat we don't want. And I'm here to tell you, this is the end of the line for freedom and liberty in America. With this data hub, you will lose all semblance of any level of Fourth Amendment privacy that you may have or may have not have had. And the probable cause to this is basically the fact, from their perspective, that you're breathing. That's probable cause to violate your Fourth Amendment right to privacy. If you want to accept that and live in a world like that, you go right ahead. But I, for one, am standing down and I'm saying I am not going to sign up. I am not going to participate in this. And I don't have any health insurance. None. You know why? Because I do this show voluntarily and I actually work for myself. And so the simple truth is I don't make enough money to actually go out and buy health insurance. If I paid for my own health insurance, and it would eat up 50% of the total employment earnings that I have. So we don't have health insurance. I and my children don't have it. And I'm not signing up for yours either. The simple truth is, if you're not willing to make the sacrifice, the small sacrifices that are going to be necessary to restore freedom and liberty in this country, then get off my radio station, get off my camera, and go away. Go back to sleep, go watch Kim Kardashian shove implants in her ass, and get out of here. Because I, for one, am sick and tired of a bunch of armchair patriots who are unwilling to stand up and do what's necessary. If you are not willing to stand up and revolt in this manner, massively, peacefully, civilly disobedient, then you are on the wrong program. You're listening to the wrong radio show. Get off, get lost, get out. It is time for you to take a stand. Get some backbone. Stop pretending that you are these sycophants up in Congress and actually put some steel in your bones. Put your money where your mouth is. Stop throwing around a bunch of empty threats like an armchair general and actually pull the trigger. Get up and do something. That's directed at you. Americans have got to stop whining and complaining. This is America. What the hell is this? Some kind of a foreign third world nation where we capitulate to every tyrant who comes along? If you give your information to these people, you will pay the price, not me. Ultimately, you will force me to pay the price by capitulating to their tyranny and forcing them to, and forcing me to acquiesce to it as well, unfortunately. But you're going to pay the price when some guy from China grabs a hold of your data, gets a credit card in your name, and wipes you out. And I hope they do. That, ladies and gentlemen, will be the ultimate penalty for your stupidity and your ignorance. Just say no. I won't participate. And you shouldn't either. And that should be the mantra that every American says to anyone else that they talk about from now until October 1st. Just say no, don't sign up for it, no Obamacare. I won't sign up and you shouldn't either. I don't care how you word it, but make sure you include those statements. If you want to stop this, stop whining and signing petitions. Congress doesn't give a rat's rear end about you. They are in this for whatever promises they've been made to sit at whatever table arises as the phoenix of tyranny rises from the ashes of liberty. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the plan. And whether they've been promised money, power, ego, privacy for whatever skeletons they've got in their closet that the NSA has already got on them, I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. It doesn't really matter. What you do need to know is that they are an absolute, open, treasonous betrayal of you. And if you participate and acquiesce to it, then you are at fault. You have willingly stepped into the scam with your eyes wide open, and you handed them your money, your security, your life, your privacy, and all of your rights. And that is on you, and no one else. You can't hold them accountable. If you sit there and you get an email from Nigeria about an email scam and you send that stupid idiot $10,000, then it's on you. You're stupid. This is no different. This is the email from Washington, D.C. And if you agree and comply, then you're on your own. And I have absolutely zero sympathy for you. In fact, I'm not going to help you unmire yourself from the trouble that you get into when you get into it, because you willingly agreed to participate under the threat of some phony crap law that they're going to penalize you and maybe keep your tax refund. Man, is that the backbone that all of our patriots have left? Our founders put up their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor on the line to create this continent, and you're worried about whether or not they're going to ding your credit report? You got to be flippin' kidding me. Get out of my face. You make me sick. I hope you are offended. If you're considering signing up for Obamacare, I hope you're offended. I hope you're so mad at me that you throw all kinds of comments out there on YouTube. I hope you forward it to 100 of your friends and say, listen to what an idiot this guy is. Because guess what? 90 of your friends are going to agree with me. You know what? The end to tyranny is up to you, and it's up to me. And we're either going to stop it in its tracks because we're going to take action, or we're going to sit here like a bunch of whining, sniveling bellyachers who actually get what we have coming to us. Slavery, tyranny, abuse, rape at the hands of rapists in Washington like Rubio, McCain, Feingold, his other partner over there, Jeff Flake, Liver Lips Lindsey Graham. Are you kidding me? You're going to capitulate to what those people tell you to do? Take one look at them and tell me that you actually are going to follow their direction. If you don't read the betrayal right on their face, you are no judge of character. Everybody says, Congress is such a mess, but my rep, he's okay. No, your rep is not okay. They're all goners. They're all treasonous. They've all compromised themselves. They've all sold us down the river. They've sold us down the river for 30 pieces of Judas's silver. And guess what? They're selling out the birthright of our nation for a bowl of Esau's soup. And if you want to participate in that, willfully or otherwise, that's on you. But I, for one, am going to stand up and fight back. I'm not playing. I'm not participating. And you know what? Americans across the board need to just say, we've had enough. This is not only dangerous for you to participate in this Obamacare Data Hub, but by your participation, you're agreeing that it's okay for them to continue the abuse and the beatings. I got to ask you this question real basically. Does the slave say to the master, Master, please stop beating me? You know why the master continues the beatings? Because by asking, the slave has given him permission to continue the beatings. He's acknowledged that it is the master's choice whether the beatings shall continue or not. If you continue to do what these traitors tell you to do, then you are nothing greater than a slave who refuses to stand up and put your arm up and stop the hand with the whip. Nothing more. You know, millions were killed in World War II under Hitler. You know what kept them in check? You know what literally kept thousands of people in check? A few lousy guards with empty guns and a couple of German shepherds. What's keeping you in check? What's keeping you from declaring we've had enough and we're breaking out of this prison you've designed and built for us? That we're breaking out of this death camp that you have developed for us? What's keeping you? You're afraid to die? Let me tell you something. The tyranny they have planned for you, death would be a welcome adjunct. Death will be something you would beg for when you find out what these tyrants really have in store for you. Financial ruin? If they win, you lose it all anyway. Your job, your house, your car, your farm, your boat, whatever the heck it is that you've got so wrapped around your neck like a millstone that you can't swim. You know, the analogy and the reminder is the guy who jumps in the water after they throw the chest of gold overboard, and he swims down to the bottom there, and he stays down there so long trying to pull that chest up, he eventually drowns. Was it really worth it in the end? He didn't get the gold and he lost his life. Is that really what you're holding on to? Your job, your car, your home, your mortgage, the debt that you have enslaved yourself to, your toys? Really? You're not much of an American if that's the case. Here's the rule of thumb. If you can't walk away from it in 30 seconds, you don't need it. How's that? If you can't grab a bug-out bag and split in 30 seconds or less without trying to figure out what to grab, you don't need it. Them's the rules. Those are the rules under tyranny. Under a republic, we would have actually different rules. We would have rules that say, when you're a traitor like these people in Congress, and judges and senators and House Representatives members in states, administrative agency heads, those people would all be in jail or put to death for treason. That's the truth. I don't care if you don't like the way I couch this. If you don't have to continue to watch this. But the simple truth is, at one point in your life, and it probably won't be far enough in the future that you will have forgotten this episode, you're going to say, I should have listened. Because this is going to come home to roost. And it's going to come home to roost in your lifetime. Don't give me the crap about, well, I'm only doing this for my kids. You know what? Do it for yourself. The heck with your kids. Do it for yourself. Do it because you're going to die a painful, agonizing, enslaved death if you don't. If you don't believe that the end goal here is ultimate tyranny, and in tyranny, people die, lots of them. If you don't think blood is going to run in the streets of America, you're just a damn fool. Well, it can happen here. This is great America. Let me tell you something. It can happen here. It's already happening here. It's already happened here, and they just forgot to notify you. Why? Because you're watching Communist News Network, faux fake news, MSLSD, ABC, NBC, CBS. You're watching reality television shows about a bunch of people who are all they're interested in is drama. You're chasing the almighty dollar, which is unachievable, and the more you make, the more you lose because the thing keeps dropping in value every single day. You're throwing up this false patriotic hoorah crap when we know that all we're doing is sending our young boys and our blood and our treasure overseas to protect corporate interests. Everything's wrong. Don't you get it? Everything. Nothing is right. Nothing they're doing, nothing that they are proposing, nothing they're planning, nothing they've done is right. It's all wrong. And no matter how you try to turn that around, you cannot make that many wrongs into something right. There is no future following along their lead. No future for you. There may be a future for them, but there's no future for you. You know, this Obamacare thing is so out of control that if you participate in it, I don't ever want you to watch this program again. I want you to take the pill and go back to sleep, because that's essentially what you're doing. If you sign up for Obamacare, then do me a favor and drop off my radar screen. Drop me off yours. I don't want to pass you like a ship in the night ever again. I want to be as far from you as the East from the West. You know, they know that this thing isn't prepared. And they know, because it's not prepared, that it's opening every American up to exactly that which they're pitching for, why they have to have, facial recognition and ID protection under the Department of Homeland Security's Real ID. Don't you get what a sham it is? It's all political doublespeak. And I can't believe that most Americans are willing to fall for it. I'm embarrassed on your behalf. I'm embarrassed on your behalf that Americans, you know, there was a great poster somebody put up on our Facebook page. You know, Obama was out there pitching that if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon Martin. And somebody was smart enough to post up there a picture of Thomas Jefferson. He said, if I had a son, we'd be at war by now. You know, the simple truth is we've let this go so far down the tubes that I don't think there is a political solution for it. And so the only stopgap measure we've got, short of mutually assured destruction by imposing the Second Amendment to take our country back by violence, which I certainly don't advocate, is the only other alternative to us that's open is this: massive, peaceful, civil disobedience, and on such a scale that they cannot help but capitulate. Followed by a plan of succession that incorporates a new constitutional republic. A group of people who are dedicated to the restoration of our nation as a constitutional republic, the rule of law, and operating exclusively within the boundaries of the Constitution. That means the end of all these administrative agencies. All of them. Yes, I get it. It's going to be a sea change. Yes, I get it. People are going to be in pain because the Obamacare phone, the Obama money, the Obama free food, the free housing, the free whatever is all done. Guess what? That's what builds self-reliance. Let the community pick up the slack. Cut taxes and allow people to start donating in their own community to support those who are locally in need. I know it sounds cold, but let me tell you something. At some point, when they close this trap, everyone who is sitting out there believing that they're going to continue in the self-same economic position that they're in right now is a damn fool. You want proof? It happened right back in 1929 during the Great Depression. There was no middle class. There was an upper ultra class and everybody else. And you, no matter how many McMansions you think you own, no matter how many fine bottles of champagne, no matter how many Mercedes you drive, you are going to be in that mix. And that is the truth. So all those things that you think make your life and define you are going to be wiped away like sand before wind. You can stop it. You can restore this country. But it's going to take everyone's participation on a massive level. I don't know what else to suggest. There is nowhere else to go. You can't run away. Where are you going to find freedom? The United States of America is the pillar of liberty on the planet. It holds up the roof of freedom globally. When that pillar falls, darkness descends upon the planet in its entirety. The question is, are you going to be guilty of assistance? Are you going to be an accessory to the crime of the century, the crime of all known human history? That's the real question here. That's what it comes down to. Are you going to be guilty of assisting in the crime of all history? Only you can stop it. But you have to be dedicated. You have to be willing to take and pay for and pay the price and take the lumps. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. In fact, I guarantee you it will not be easy. But that doesn't change the fact that it has to be done. The alternative is you're going to lose it all anyway. So you have to make a determination and decide what you want. Do you want to continue in fantasy land, only to lose it all anyway? Or do you want to put it all at risk with an opportunity to come out whole on the other side? Those are the only two choices available to you. There is no more middle ground. There's no place left to go. There's no more opportunity to stand on the sidelines or in the middle and say, I don't know whether to go left and I don't know whether to go right. The only opportunity left for you is to take a stand. America, take a stand. You're listening to America's Voice Now. Please find us on the web at americasvoicenow.org. Find our Facebook page and like it at facebook.com/America's Voice Now. Then find this and every other radio program that we do up on our YouTube page at youtube.com/America's Voice Now. Share it with your friends. We'll be back in just a few moments with our third segment. Stick with us. We're going to cover a couple of other issues this morning that are worthy of discussion. I want to make sure that you are fully aware of where we stand today, because things are coming to a head quick. We'll be right back.